All right, let's look at the Creators Fund from Creative Victoria. It provides up to $50,000 for creative people. Now, what I normally do when looking at a grant is let's look at the overall objectives and let's see, does your project meet those objectives? So what they focus on here is intensive creative research and development for new ideas and concepts, practice-based experimentation. So what I read from this is it's not about creating, content. It's not about doing a new artwork. It's not about doing a new movie. It's about research and development. It's about experimentation. So you want to be trying something that hasn't been done before, and it may help your industry, and it will also help your business, grow. So those are the elements that I look for. So the other thing that I do is I go and look at who have they funded in the past. So in this grant, they have funded people in the past. So if we go and click on who they funded in the past, so here's one I've opened for the last round. Meet the latest creators, fund recipients, selected by an expert panel of more than 150 applications. So it's going to be competitive. So there's only about maybe 10, 15, so 10% chance of getting funded. So what I look at this is Fiona, an inclusive storytelling specialist, an award-winning screenwriter, director, producer, developer, and working on across storytelling genres and platforms. So I don't even need to read into what else she's done. You're going to be able to summarize yourself in a small, succinct way that has similar aspects. So what I pick up on this is inclusive. So part of this grant is about being inclusive. Look at some of the criteria. So you've got First Nations people, you've got disabled people, you've got different genders. So look at that for being inclusive. Also, award-winning screenwriter. So you need to demonstrate that you have been in this industry, in your chosen industry for a while, and being award-winning is also going to look good. And then obviously director, producer, developer, working across stories. So done plenty of things in your industry. Michael, he's sound sculpture. So I haven't looked at some of his works, but you need to have done a number of works in that space and be known for that in what you're doing. So going back to the grant itself, up to $50,000. It generally doesn't matter whether you're asking for 20 or 50. Often I find it's easier to ask for the full amount, but just make sure that you can justify it. Make sure that it's within 6 months activity. If you're putting in additional funds, that always helps in terms of value for money. So who can apply? Pretty much all creatives. Make sure you fit into one of those. You must be Victorian. Obviously this is from Victoria. It's a Victorian grant, and then they encourage applications from First People, deaf, disabled, regional, culturally, linguistically diverse. So if you've got an element of that, that is going to look good. I would say 50% of the grants will go to people from that area. Obviously, that's when things are due, apply online. So the other thing then I do is go and look at the guidelines. And the area you want to look for is the assessment criteria. So you'll be given a score for each of your parts of the application, out of 10, 20, whatever is the number, and you'll be scored with that. So this one, in the merit criteria, there are 3 sections: research, merit, impact, viability. And the other thing to look for is equally weighted. Sometimes there might be 50%, 30, 20, that's often very common, but this one's obviously equal. So let's look at the research merit. So once again, not about creating content. Look at here, the originality of the ideas and our concepts to be explored during the funding period. So the ideas, what do you want to look at? The level of experimentation evident in the creative process. So think scientifically. What is your hypothesis? What do you not know the outcome of? What do you want to prove, and how do you measure success or failure of that? So I was just trying to think of some examples. I'm not in the creative space, but in the art scene, you may want to be a graffiti artist, and you may want to experiment with different types of paint. It may be a glow-in-the-dark paint, and you want to experiment with large format, and then spray paint that, and it builds up the luminescence during the day, and then at night time it glows. So they're working it with some aerosol. It may not be an aerosol-based paint, but you're adapting that paint to be in an aerosol format. So that's the sort of thing you're looking for. And then we go into the part about capability and suitability. So have you been a graffiti artist in the last 10 years? Can you show success, or big artworks or awards or recognitions, or traveling around the world? That's what they're going to look for. Okay, the next part is the impact. So the potential for the activity to contribute to the applicant's practice. You want to show that by success or experimenting in this grant that they're going to help you grow your business. So you need to demonstrate, okay, by doing this and it's successful, I can go on to do tours, I can do commissions, and it might lead to 10 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand. Work out what those numbers are to say, an actual number. Say, hey, I will get a 50,000 commission if this is proved correct, and here's my letters of support. I'm not sure if the letters of support are allowed in this, but the more you can demonstrate potential success after the project, it's going to look good. Propose activity in a timely manner. Yep, put in a detailed timeline. What are you doing week 1, week 2? You're going to scope, you're going to speak to people, you're going to set it up. This is the experimental, this is the review, this is the peer review. So try to put as many steps into the process, and obviously within the 6 months. Potential for new partnerships and ways of working. I would always try to collaborate with other organisations or bodies, get their endorsement. If it's more than one other artist or creative in that space, work together, get them involved, get other, you might have a pig body, or you might have other collaborations with other organisations that could be involved in this. And you also want to have the reputation of the creative industry. So you want to not just help yourself, you want to help your industry. So you want to be able to spread the ideas, spread this information to everyone to help elevate everyone, so everyone grows. So work out how you can help others grow in this experiment. So if it was me, I would want to share this information, give it out to others for free, share my learnings, do some YouTube videos, and get the information out there. And then moving on to the viability, once again talking about your experience and capacity to undertake this activity. So you want to show that you have a track record in this space, you are highly regarded, you have won awards, and then we talk about the budget. So don't ask for stupid money. Make sure you can justify it. Try to get quotes where you can. Just don't make up, okay, 10,000 here, 20,000 here. Okay, it's 13,800 because I've actually got a quote from someone. Here's a space I need to rent. They've said it's $800, a week for 6 months. Yeah, itemize all of those. Inclusion of a viable timeline for planning. Put that in. Diverse communities, the panel will consider demonstrate best practice. So if you're working in a cultural sense, or anyone from the disabled context, make sure you've engaged with them and work out how they can be involved, or you're getting the best possible advice on that one. So there's some tips in getting that grant. Best of luck with your applications.